Luis Vasquez, better known by his stage name The Soft Moon, was an American musician, singer, songwriter, record producer, and composer. Vasquez served as the lead vocalist, multi-instrumentalist, songwriter, and sole official member of The Soft Moon, which he founded in 2009. Vasquez was born in Los Angeles, California, to a Cuban immigrant mother and to a Mexican father who was never present in his life. At the age of 12, he and his family relocated to a small desert town called Victorville, California, where he showed an aptitude toward music and began playing guitar. At the age of 15, inspired by such bands as Bad Brains, Fugazi, Descendants, and Minor Threat, Vasquez formed his first punk rock band and stated, "I had to forge my mother's signature in order to play 18 and over clubs and ask for permission to stay the night at a friend's house," one of those shows being the opening act for local band Face to Face. Vasquez played in several punk rock bands throughout his teens, worked several odd jobs, and later moved to Oakland, California. On January 19, 2024, The Soft Moon's official Instagram account published a post informing the death of Luis Vasquez. Trini Tinturé was a Spanish cartoonist and illustrator. Her work has a prominent place in the history of 20th century comics. She worked mainly for the foreign market. She specialized in comics aimed at girls and teenagers, among which Emma is Charming, her most representative work in Spain, created in collaboration with the scriptwriter Andrew Martin, stands out. She was honored with the grand prize at the 2023 Barcelona International Comic Fair. Trini Tinturé was born in Lleida, 6 August 1935, at the start of the Spanish Civil War. Her family of 6 lived on the income of her father, who had a carpentry workshop. From a very early age, she showed a fondness for drawing. Though her training was limited to being self-taught, in 1955, Tinturé was awarded the first medal for artistic drawing by the Círculo de Bellas Artes in her hometown. Trini Tinturé died on 18 January 2024, at the age of 88. Robert D. Gaylor was an American military senior non-commissioned officer, the 5th Chief Master Sergeant of the U.S. Air Force from 1977 to 1979. Gaylor was born on May 8, 1930 in Bellevue, Iowa. However, most of his youth was spent in Indiana. Gaylor entered the United States Air Force in September 1948 and was assigned to the security police career field, in which he served until 1957. In September 1957, he served as a military training instructor at Lackland Air Force Base, Texas, until February 1962. He then returned to the security police field until July 1965. Gaylor was appointed Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force in 1977. In this role, he was advisor to Secretary of the Air Force John C. Stetson and Chiefs of Staff of the Air Force, General David C. Jones and General Lou Allen, on matters concerning welfare, effective utilization, and progress of the enlisted members of the Air Force. He was the 5th Chief Master Sergeant appointed to this ultimate non-commissioned officer position. After retiring from the Air Force, Gaylor taught, coached, and mentored leaders at all levels for USA, a Fortune 500 company. In 2006, the NQ Academy at Lackland Air Force Base was named the Robert D. Gaylor NQ Academy in his honor. Robert Gaylor died on January 17, 2024, at the age of 93. Shawnacy Campbell Barber was a Canadian track and field athlete specializing in the pole vault. Barber was a world champion in pole vault, having won the event with a height of 5.90 meters at the 2015 World Championships in Athletics in Beijing. Barber also became a Pan American Games champion in winning the 2015 edition of the Games with a height of 5.80 meters. Barber won a bronze medal at the 2014 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow as well. His outdoor personal best jump of 5.93 meters was made on 25 July 2015, and it is the current national record. His indoor personal best was 6.00 meters from 2016, Canadian indoor record. Barber is tied for the Pan Am record together with Lazaro Borges. He also holds the NCAA collegiate indoor record at 5.91 meters. On 17 January 2024, Barber died at his home in Kingwood, Texas, from medical complications following a period of ill health. He was 29. Héctor Pastor Bidonde was an Argentine actor. Born in La Plata, he was a shift worker in a tool and die factory when, in 1954, he was offered a part in Carlos P. Capro's play Emirates. He was accepted in the Buenos Aires Province Comedy in 1964 and performed extensively in the theater before being offered his first film role in Mario David's La Rabona. Numerous supporting roles followed, among them is that of an unhappily married husband in Maria Luisa Bemberg's Momentos and of a hardline chief of police in Roberto Dennis' Luna Caliente. His roles for director Hector Oliveira as the scheming Suprino in Funny Dirty Little War and as Dr. Falcone, the father of a student abducted by the police in the fact-based Night of the Pencils, made him prominent in Argentine film. Bidonde returned to the theater and to Argentine public television in subsequent years. Among his notable later film performances was one in Daniel Barome's Alma Mia. Politically active in left-wing politics in Argentina, Bidonde was elected to the legislature of the city of Buenos Aires in 2003 and was Socialist Workers' Movement candidate Vilma Ripoll's running mate for the 2007 presidential election. Brian Brett was a Canadian poet, journalist, editor, and novelist. Brett published extensively, starting in the late 1960s, and he worked as an editor for several publishing firms, including the Governor General's award-winning Blackfish Press. He also wrote a 3-part memoir of his life in British Columbia. Brian Brett was born in British Columbia. He grew up with a rare endocrine disorder, Kallmann syndrome, which prevented his body from entering puberty. He later wrote a memoir about the effect this has had on his life. Brett attended Simon Fraser University between 1969 and 1974, studying literature. Brett lived on his farm on Salt Spring Island, British Columbia. He took testosterone to mitigate the effects of Kallmann syndrome, which included pain and osteoporosis. Brett died on January 17, 2024, at the age of 73. In February 2023, Bruce Willis' family announced that the 67-year-old actor has been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia, a degenerative condition primarily affecting behavior and communication. His health issues first became known in March 2022 when the actor's relatives revealed that Bruce was stepping back from acting due to a condition called aphasia, where a person experiences difficulties with speech, understanding, reading, or writing. These symptoms initially manifested in the Hollywood star in a mild form, but over time they progressed. Recently, Bruce's daughter, Talila Willis, stated that her family intends to raise awareness about frontotemporal dementia. She explained that there is insufficient information about this condition, and people need to be aware of it and be prepared if the disease appears in their families.